everybody, and thanks for joining us on another BWA virtual hike. I'm Carol Hillestad, Brodhead Watershed Association's hike leader. I'm here today at beautiful Skytop with Rick Koval.
Good morning, Carol. Pleasure to be on the trail with you today. It seems like an autumn day, but right now we're at one of Skytop's most impressive trails called the Trout Stream Trail, and this leads to beautiful Indian Ladder Falls. So we're gonna go on a virtual nature hike and enjoy all the pleasures and amenities that Skytop has to offer, but most importantly, the Poconos.
And we're crossing the
Levitt Branch Creek. This trail leads about a mile of that. Wonderful trail, most popular trail at Skytop. Skytop, with our 5,500 acres, we have about 16 trails. Some of them are a half a mile, relatively easy. Other ones are, like this one's 2 miles, relatively easy. We have some that go up 500 feet elevation, which is challenging, and some that are 9 miles long. Skytop Lodge is a privately owned resort, and the trails are open to our guests only. So come and enjoy, stay a day, grab a meal perhaps, and you're welcome to walk our trails then. I love this corridor. Most of our guests love the White Pine corridor as we're going to walk by. And on all seasons, it's amazing where, even if there's a snow-covered trail. Carol, what's amazing about this trail is we're going to be going through this really mature white pine forest, and they're probably about 95 feet high or so, but they're young, they're youngsters. And we have even younger white pines that are about 20, 22 years old. Because of a fire that happened, opened up the canopy, and you're going to see a lot of recruitment of white pines. Okay. And 2 years ago, during Easter time, we had about 28 inches of heavy snow, and all those young pines toppled to the ground. You could not walk across this trail. It was cemented with white pines, and so some of them are starting to rebound, but we lost a lot. And that was a natural event that happened. And so a lot of the guests, when they walk this, they say, what happened? These white pines are dying, and it was a natural phenomenon. It was just incredible to see. And the big ones survived, but the little ones are struggling.
Interesting.
So we'll see that as you walk by.
But it's certainly a beautiful trail.
The one that we would, witchetty, common yellowthroat. It's a woodland warbler, all yellow, that has a bandit mask. Oh, the birds are singing now. And guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to take out an app, and it's called eBird. And so what we're going to do is we're going to record on our hike how many birds we hear and see. And based upon the environment, the types of habitat that's going to change, there's going to be different birds closer to Levitt Branch Creek and some more forest interior birds.
And what are you hearing now?
I'm hearing a red-eyed vireo, a withrush, and American redstart.
Only 2% of the creeks in Pennsylvania are considered exceptional value, which is a specific designation based on science. The vast majority of them, 80%, are in our area. You can visit them. You can visit this one if you come on our Ramble in 2021 with Rick Koval and me.
What the Poconos are known for are big black bears. They're our icon of the Pocono, white-tailed deer, turkeys, and grouse. And the reason why our black bears grow so big, in more natural settings, is because the Poconos is blessed with a lot of varieties of blueberries. And blueberries, this particular one is called high bush blueberry, grows 20 feet tall. However, when you eat these, it tastes like a Granny Smith apple on steroids. You're gonna get a kick, a punch, delicious. It takes away all the thirst in your mouth, and you're gonna say, wow, that was like nasty good. I'm gonna try another. But I like them either ripe and unripe. It's just a nice way, a nice trailside nibble on a nature hike. And I don't think the bears eat them yet. They like the sweetness. So I think bears don't prefer sour fruits, but in this case, we're going to take advantage of it and kind of beat the bears to it. So we're walking into an older growth forest. And I think the reason why is this is such a popular historical trail. I mentioned well before Skytop's creation back in the 20s, Indian Ladder Falls, the Trout Stream, Levitt Branch Creek. And so some of the previous owners left the large hemlocks, the white pines, and you see some large chestnut oaks. This is a large, gigantic, colossal mushroom called the hemlock polypore. And poly means many, many holes on it, so it's not going to be the typical gilled mushroom. It grows on the bases of usually dead, dying eastern hemlocks. You could buy powder of this and add it to coffees, to drinks, to beverages. The outer tip You make it, you shave it, dry it, and you can make a drink from it. What I'm standing next to is one of our very common tree of the Poconos, and this is the white ash, ASH tree, white ash, the baseball bat tree. There's a horrible insect called the emerald ash borer. It's a beetle, an emerald green beetle that lays its eggs, it's from Asia, lays its eggs in any species of ash. And these larvae, as they grow and develop, they move around in the beneath the bark is the living tissue of the tree called the cambium layer. And so they swirl around, and if I peeled that bark off, if it was infected, it'll look like a highway that intertwines, and it cuts the lifeline of sap, the xylem and phloem, going up and down the tree, and in a matter of 2 to 3 years, the 100-year-old ash tree will die. And if you look up on this tree, it has about 95% canopy, which means it's healthy, and it's the chemical that we injected is saving it. The homeowners of Skytop, they embrace the nature of it. It's in our nature, that's our logo as well. And they donated money for us to save some of these trees. We have thousands of ash trees, and we cannot save them all because of the cost, but we're trying to find small ones and large ones to protect and save so we could protect the species in the long term.
The thing I like about rocks, about a rock like this one, this great big one here, is it's sort of geology in motion, you know? It's like, because you can see that there was a tree out there that has died. There are a number of little saplings there.
It's a nursery rock too, right?
Nursery, exactly. Yeah. And it's so old. It makes all of us like the blink of an eye. This, I don't know, 400,000 years old?
Yeah, it's Devonian sandstone. Yeah, they say maybe every inch of sediment might be 10,000 years of time. This is one of the significant trees at Skytop. And this one in particular, this has about 6 common names. Musclewood, because of the sinewy-like muscle. Ironwood, very hard wood, about 60 pounds a cubic foot. Blue beech, leverwood. It was used as a lever with fulcrums to pry stumps and logs out of old farm fields. And blue beech is a common name of it. This year it's 191 years old with a diameter of maybe 10 inches, 12 inches. So that's why the wood is so hard on ironwood, musclewood, leverwood. What's unique to the Levitt Branch Creek, Skytop, and the Poconos is that we have a very rare plant that's classified as threatened and endangered in Pennsylvania. It's a native wildflower that's more of northern latitudes in Canada. It's called white twisted stalk. So it looks like, almost like the rhododendrons that it's dangling near. This plant in Pennsylvania only grows along the base of high elevation, pristine environments near waterfalls and seeps. It has whitish flowers, built like lily-like flowers, and the stem of the flowers is shaped like a letter Z, so it's like almost twisted. And it produces brilliant red fruits in the fall or late summer. It grows in higher elevations, and it's usually a shrub. And this one's almost 35 feet high or more now. It's been 10 years since I nominated it. And what's unique about the maple, the mountain maple, I don't see the seeds. I think the frost killed them. But you know how the flowers of maple, they dangle? This one, the flowers go vertically up. So they grow up instead of down, which is superficially to a person who likes trees, they'll know how to identify it easily. Otherwise, it looks like a maple. It's a typical maple leaf. Finally, we're here, Carol, right? It's this long, hard journey. This is one of the most easiest trails probably you ever hiked, and probably one of the slowest paced. But this is our showcase. This is Indian Ladder Falls, and the guests love it. It's one of the gems of the Poconos. And Indian Ladder Falls is a glacially formed waterfall of 3 tiers, collectively about 55 feet high. And it's one of the most aesthetic and tranquil locations, destinations for our guests of Skytop Lodge. You have these cascading waterfalls and pristine streams that ultimately lead into the Brodhead Creek and Delaware River, which is important watershed address streams that we protect. So during the Brodhead Creek Ramble, the event that's going to happen next year, this is one of the showcase destinations. And why they chose this trail, because it's user-friendly. So it could be anybody that can't walk far and difficult. And the climax is the beautiful Indian Ladder Falls. So Carol, here's another option, and I hope that your group will walk this. This is called the alternate trout stream trail. So it parallels the same path that we did. But we're on the opposite end of the Levitt Branch Creek. And it's more of a narrow trail and a different perspective. You're going to be like right in, close, condensed into nature. And there's some woodland pools and some intermittent springs and spring seeps that you couldn't see on the big trail.
Terrific, Rick.
So let's enjoy it, and you're going to see for your eyes now the difference, and it leads to the same place. And these are, I love these. I love these isolated little woodland pools because it's a safe haven for amphibians. And there's going to be a lot of wood frog tadpoles, which we don't see now, but they're here in the leaf litter.
Right.
Red spotted newts. The tree is witch hazel, so it's a common, in this case it's a shrub, but this is a tree size in the Poconos, at least at Skytop. And these little uniform circles, these little, looks like I was trying to nail up a directional arrow and I couldn't make up my mind, right? This is the drillings of a yellow-bellied sapsucker. It's a woodpecker that's migrates throughout the United States, but it breeds actually in the Poconos. We have a little tunnel of rhododendrons coming up.
Oh, I see.
That we're going to be ducking underneath.
Yes.
All these rhodos are 100 years old or older that you're seeing that are like fat as our arm.
Oh, I bet the kids love this.
Hurricane Sandy, what, 7 years ago now, perhaps? The only spot on our property where we had some tree downs, the impact of the, so it came from the southeast and it went in a northwest direction, and these towering white pines, which were about 100 feet tall, had toppled over. And it was like a domino, bam, 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 for about 100 yards. So long before we thought recycling was politically correct to do, nature has been recycling for eons. And so what's being recycled now is that this exposed soil is now a potting plant, a pot, if you will, of a medium for seeds to grow. So it's pretty remarkable that in time, this is going to be a new tree, a new forest, maybe a different type of forest. Yeah, they're brook trout. They usually lay their eggs up the stream. The females in September, they run up. We lost a lot probably, that dried up.
The Ramble is a way to get people out enjoying water-related activities, especially to understand how important keeping water like the water of the Levitt Branch pure by protecting the land around it. Because the Levitt Branch starts way up here in Skytop and then joins the Brodhead Creek on its way down to the Delaware. It becomes drinking water for millions and millions of people. I can't promise that there will be a deer, but we didn't expect the deer to be here while we're talking. And you never know what will happen when you're outside in the woods. Seeing wildlife surviving and thriving in their natural habitat is certainly a big part of the Ramble and hikes in general.
This is enacting, so hopefully my three main goals on a hike is to educate, entertain, and invigorate. My enthusiasm, I hope it's contagious, and to see the smells, the taste, the feel, the sensations of nature, the sounds of nature. And how could you not? How could you not? I think everyone in Brodhead Creek Watershed Association really concurs with me. Carol, this is probably one of the first times that we ever hiked the trail together.
I know, isn't it incredible? It is the first time.
We know each other through our words, through our articles in the newspapers and our outreach, and I really want to compliment you on what you do for Brodhead Watershed Association.
Well, thank you.
And sharing nature like I do at Skytop to the world, especially at our beautiful Pocono Palace.
Yeah. It is a palace, and we're so grateful to be able to be coming here for the Ramble in 2021.
And I hope to see you soon.
See you soon.
Okay.
Take care.
Take care.